Hey, hello everybody, my name is Beef and welcome back to another video. Today we are continuing our series where we build Sahara from Hermitcraft Season 6, constructed by Mumbo Jumbo and Iskel. And, well, we're on part 3, and today's part is the decoding system, which I expected to be extremely complicated, but it was actually quite simple. When I went and looked at it and saw, I was really surprised, but that's what I'm going to be showing you how to build today. Technically, it's the input system for this whole thing, so it will actually basically be operational to some degree after we are done here. But, well, let's just go ahead and get started. And so what we're going to be building is this simple circuit and some water streams. And right here is just a simple item sorter. So say you wanted to sort diamonds, you would just put 4 different items that you don't want ever sorted in the other 4 slots, and then you would have it basically, to fill it up, you'd have at least 41 of those items. If you put another one in, you'll see it takes it out and it goes down into here, and it will also trigger this torch tower, which is actually how this thing gets activated. So over here you can see this is connected to this module, and I did clear out a big area because you need a lot of room. You might not need this much room, but having more room in the tutorial is always good. So this decoding module is connected to this module right here, which sorts, which is a diamond module and has diamond shulker boxes. So let's say you put in a diamond into this, you'll see that it triggers that, and a shulker box is released because of this torch tower. It's connected to the activation method for these modules. And the way this works is that there's just water streams running across all of the decoding modules, and the item will basically just decode the thing by finding the correct module that's sorted for that item. So this might be the only module in the entire thing that sorts diamonds. It's actually not, but hypothetically, if it were, if someone ordered diamonds, then it would find the diamonds because that would be the only module that accepted diamonds in the decoder. It would trigger this whole system up here to release a shulker box and then fill up another shulker box. So, also, for some strange reason, I've noticed that shulker boxes sometimes are going up here. And that wasn't a problem before, but like now in this later version, it seems like it's going farther. I never had that problem in snapshots and stuff, but we are on the latest release. But if you see that problem, you might just want to put more blocks up there, because that is something I noticed that's weird that's happening, and I haven't experienced that before until now. And so I'm going to show you how to build this up here and then how to connect it, because it's really easy. So start with a dropper. Well, actually, yeah, you still need to start with a dropper, but you have to make sure it's oriented in the correct position. So this right here is the front of the entire like warehouse, and so you need to orient the front dropper facing that way. And it's probably best when you're connecting it here to build from like the back and go from the top down so that you all get it lined up correctly. But over here, start with the dropper, place 2 hoppers facing downward into that dropper on top of it, and then place 3 blocks back here. Place redstone comparator facing that way and some dust behind it. And you're going to place another hopper facing into that comparator like that, so it's facing that way. These are facing down, however, and then you're going to have a block down here, a block down here, and then put a block there. You can put a repeater on top of that, some redstone over there, and redstone torch on that block. And then you're going to have a block back here with a repeater on it and another dropper right there. And you're going to put a block on the dropper. And then you're going to make a torch tower that's 3 torches tall. And, well, technically it's going to be 4 torches tall. You're probably going to have a ceiling here that separates these 2 layers, and that's how it worked in the actual Sahara. But for the sake of tutorial, I got rid of the ceiling because it's way easier to see without it. It's a lot less cluttered. So you'll see there are actually a total of 4 torches before this top one by the repeater. So if you want, you can just like build in 4, but I actually already had that torch included in the modules when we built them in the previous episode. So just say for now 3 torches, and you will have a 4th, but depends on if you already built that or not. And that is 1 full decoding module completed, and you can configure it just by putting some items in there. If you want it to sort sandstone, if you're selling sandstone, you'd put 41 of those items in there, and then if you ever added another item, you'd see that it triggers that torch tower and it goes down into here. And so now should talk about these droppers, because the dropper back here is actually for the receipt system, because you know how like they had receipts that come along with the orders that like says the items and stuff and how much pricing it is. Those, if you want to include them, those would go into this dropper here, and they go in their own water stream out the back. And here's where items like actual, like the labeled items for the prices and stuff would come back out, because normally when you did this, you would have like sandstone, you'd have 41 sandstone, labeled sandstone, like 1 stack per diamond or something. That's probably a bad price, but those would actually be labeled, and so if you chucked one in that was labeled that, it would go down, and then it would sit there. If you threw another one into it, then it would get spit out here at the dropper, and then you could just you could return it to the chest where you actually have like the items that you can pick, or you can send it to like a different room to check your sales. And that's what went on in Sahara. They had like a whole fancy redstone like lamp counter thing for how much they sold. So I don't know if I'm gonna include that in this series. If you want me to include that, I can. But just let me know if you'd be interested in that, because you could also just have a return to a simple chest. So basically, to connect all of this up, you're going to have a total of 4 torches starting from here. So if we build this from the top down, that's actually, shoot, yeah, you need to make sure it's underneath that block. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now torch, 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 and torch. And there, that's all set. And then basically you just build it the exact same way that we did before, like this. So yeah, and then you're basically just going to want to do this on all the modules. So anywhere you see these 2 bits of cyan terracotta, you're going to do a decoder underneath that. And I'll come back to the recording once that's all done, and we can add in the water streams, and that's actually about it for the decoder. Alright, we've got ourselves some decoders here. We've got one for every single module, and that's starting to look kind of busy, but keep in mind all of these are, well, just the same exact thing repeated a lot of times. So it's actually quite simple, but now we need to add in some water streams, and there's technically 3 different water streams that actually make this thing work. There is an input water stream, an output water stream for like the bits of stock, like the little labeled items, and then there's an output water stream for receipts. And we're going to start with the simplest one, which is just the input water stream. And so basically what you're going to want to do just to start off by is connect all of these hoppers with blocks of packed ice. So you're going to do this on all of these different list modules and lines of modules. And then we'll come back to the recording when we've done that to add in some other stuff, connect them, and all those good things. Alright, we got all of these ice blocks in place connecting these modules, so you're going to come out one more block here and then just make a line. Actually, we can't because of that torch. You're going to go out 2 blocks and then make a line of ice connecting these 2 modules, and we're going to go all the way to the end here, and we're going to do the same over here. We're going to come out 2 blocks and make a line of ice connecting these pathways, and then we're going to do that one more time over here. Can I fly, please? Apparently it's like, no, you can't, but anyways, there we go. Now we need to just add some glass borders on all of this, which, well, yeah, it's gonna take a sec, but you can also add more ice out here. I'm not gonna do the inputs today for this thing. Probably next episode we'll start actually tying together a lot of this stuff with like the actual interface that like a shopper would buy stuff from and things like that. That'll probably be next episode, but for now we're just gonna leave this closed off and not really do anything with that. But you're gonna have to make a border of ice going around all of these ice pathways, water stream things. So you're gonna turn the corner and just continue it on all sides. So basically you get the idea. Let's cut back to the recording once we have all the ice in place. Alright, well, all the glass is in place, and if I sound a little weird, it probably is just because, well, allergy season and summer where I am, so I'm kind of, well, a little bit stuffy, but that's, yeah, probably why. If I do sound weird, that would probably be why. But let's go ahead and add in the water now. So you can just start. We might have to rearrange some of this in later episodes, but for now, just put some water starting there, and then you're just gonna have, well, a slab, like, to stop the water, but let items through. Then you're gonna put more water. Try not to put a slab on top of the hopper or put water directly on top of the hopper, just for, like, the sake of making this easier. I think this actually might be a pattern. Looks like, yeah, this is just forming a pattern, so this is working out pretty well. And it's gonna be slightly different when, I guess, we get to the corner, so I'll show you how to do one of those. Oops, we don't want ice, we want some water. And we're almost at the corner, so what you're gonna want to do is here you're gonna place a slab like that, and then make sure that you have, like, the water flowing like that way, starting at this corner block here, so that it all lines up correctly. Like, an item will just continue on that way and not get interrupted. Over here, it should work fine to just do that, and then you can continue the pattern. So you get the idea now. I'm gonna go ahead and put in all the water, and then we'll start on some of the other water streams. Okay, all of our water is in place, but now you probably noticed how there's not a lot of room in between here, but luckily there's still enough room for a water stream, but it's got like a shared sort of wall thing going on. So you're gonna want to start by building ice pathways, basically underneath like these droppers at all these different sides of the module. So there's basically 2 water streams per area in the middle here, if that kind of makes sense. Also, tired of all these mobs here. Apparently it's too dark. You're also going to want to probably have glowstones somewhere or torches to make it not, like, dark and mob spawning, because that would be a problem and it makes everything more irritating and annoying. But for now, just put ice at the base of all these modules. Okay, we have all the ice in now, and we're going to have to do some fancy ice water stream path stuff. So extend this thing out like 5 blocks or something. And you're also going to extend this out about 5 blocks, and you can now connect these up. And you're going to just, this is an ice stream, water stream path for the receipts to come out. So, it's this one as well. And all the way over here, it's this one. So these are all going to connect to the same water stream. And they're all going to go to one place, where they would actually, like, get sent to the main area. So let's just say, pretend they come out here for now. In the actual Sahara, they have them drop down, but that's because of different height levels and stuff. So, but here, probably just have them come out. We don't want them to go down anymore. But what you're gonna do now is surround all of this with glass, as usual with these water streams. And that also includes in here, but like I said, there's a tight squeeze, so this is also gonna end up being glass. Just make sure the water streams are kept separate, because these other water stream areas are for return, like, labeled items that you would drop into the system to order your stuff, like at the area where people would buy stuff from Sahara, or just the system in general. So those go to a different spot, and we'll be building the water stream for that shortly. But for now, just put glass borders around all of this ice here, and yeah, we'll cut back to the recording when we're done with that. Alright, glass is in place now. Well, we have to put in the water, but I think we'll do that after we build the other ice stream. We'll just put water in all at the same time. So here is where the blocks are going to be returned. So for now, we're going to leave this just as, like, a hole to go down for in the future episodes. And so you're gonna have to surround this ice with glass again, but it's a little bit different, because back here we're gonna actually have the water streams taking the items in a slightly different way. So we're gonna have these ice streams be connected at the back, and wait, we don't need that there. I was getting confused. Around here, you're gonna have to bring the ice out and make another line of the ice, and we're gonna have all the items flow to the back from all the areas until they go down this one path right here. So over here again, you're gonna connect this up like that, and finally over here, you're also gonna connect this. But you also still obviously have to fill all this area in with glass. So I guess we should just go ahead and do that. And cut back to when we're done. Then we can go ahead and add all the water, and I think then we're basically done with the decoder system. Now, just a reminder again, we are not actually adding dedicated inputs and outputs for all these water streams yet. We're just actually building them up. And in next episode or two, we're actually going to start adding inputs and outputs for all these water streams. Alright, we need to add some serious water now that we have all the ice in place. And, well, it's going to be a little bit confusing. But basically, the water streams out the back here are going to be flowing that way. And the water streams on the other end are flowing this way, except for this one, which takes it all the different like items that are coming back that are like the stock items. Or like they're not the stock, they're like the stock indicator items. I'm still confused on what to call that, but yeah, you get the idea. That's what actually they are. So we have two different types of water streams basically here, which does make things a little confusing, but that's, I guess, just the way it goes. Okay, we actually, how is this gonna go? Because we can't really have, if we do it like that, okay, that's good. Then we have a pattern here. So let's see, I'll show you how to do this one, and then I'll show you like how the water's supposed to go on the other ones, and I'll just turn off the recording and do all of them and then show you the result. Okay, so if we put that there, we can put water here, and so we're gonna have to like do some fancy stuff with this. So we'll just bring this out. This will probably get changed in later episodes, but now all that stuff can just come that way, and we're gonna have to do that, and we're gonna have to do that, and we're gonna have to do that, so that the water can just go in like a line, so that the items will just automatically come into the water stream and it won't cause any problems or anything bad will happen. That's plenty of room for items to like just they'll float over the they'll go over the ice. So like if I put well, actually I don't have water in yet, dang it. If I were to put like a diamond here, it will have plenty of momentum to get in that water stream. Yeah, that works just fine. And so these back ones here are going to be they're going to be flowing this way. This one right here is going to be flowing in this direction, the same here, but the rest of them are going to be flowing backwards. And well, it's not really, you don't really do it any differently. You just have to know that these come in that direction, those go in that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and put all the water in. I'll cut back to the recording and show you what I have done once we finish that. So listening back to that clip, I actually was getting confused a little bit myself. And well, basically, just to boil it down, you have two sets of water streams, one flowing forward and one flowing back. And you just have to keep them separate. That's basically what you need to know about that. It's a little bit confusing. Alright, all the water streams are in place, and oh my, I missed water here. I was about to say all the water is in place. Are you kidding me? Okay, dang it. Well, can talk while I add this. That's fine. There's so many water streams, I was bound to miss one, but well, yeah. So it's actually, it looks confusing. It is a little confusing, but it's not too bad, especially when you're the one building it yourself. So I will, as always, include a world download in the description for this, and so you can go check it out if you would like to yourselves. Also, some of the ways that I actually build this a lot faster in creative mode is I use structure blocks to duplicate portions of this, because a lot of it is the same type of thing. Like I would just clone 7 of these modules and then like just paste it in all the other ones, and it's super easy. So if you're doing that in creative mode, you can do that. Also, technically there's structure blocks, like if you look in the world files for this download, you can actually see the structure blocks that I have saved, and you can like mess around with that if you want, because I have actually quite a few at this point. It's pretty easy to access. It's just like in the, I think the folder called structures. I don't know, it might be outdated what I'm thinking of by now, but they are definitely, you can find them and see what they are and then load them for yourselves. But I think that's about all for today's tutorial. And part 3 of Sahara, we have the decoding system done. Next time, probably part 4, is going to be where we add some of the dedicated item inputs and outputs that make this actually functional. Because there's a lot of parts of this, like this part up here, that don't have an input yet. There's all kinds of places that need work. This technically still needs an input up here, like this chest for return shulker boxes. There are all kinds of stuff we need to do. There'll probably be, I'm estimating, 1 or 2 more episodes of Sahara tutorials before we finish, but make sure to like and subscribe with notifications on so as not to miss out on future videos like that. And well, once again, I've been Speed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.